Willie Mott Jr., the man you see here, is now facing 2 counts of capital murder and 1 count of attempted capital murder.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at recent heinous acts that haven't gotten the coverage they deserve.
It's a situation that no family would ever want to hear about their loved one.
Deaths of Mickey Harmon and Jordan Coletto. In one act of violence, Buffalo lost 2 beloved community members. Mickey Harmon and Jordan Coletto's art and activism made them local celebrities and made the news of their March 2025 demise shocking.
Mickey, as we know, was a very well-known artist here in Buffalo. In fact, many of his prints and murals can be found all across the city.
According to a friend of the couple, he went to their home and saw a man inside with a knife. When the police arrived, he attempted to take his own life. He was hospitalized while the house was searched, where Harmon and Coletto were found bludgeoned to death. The suspect was charged with murder, to which he pleaded not guilty.
In court Wednesday, Chiclana pleaded not guilty.
The tragedy was covered at first, but the updates stopped after his plea. Once his trial commences, the updates may resume. Until then, fellow Buffalonians have worked to keep their memories alive.
They were definitely peoples and pillars of the community who are far greater than their circumstances of how they departed.
Lucretia Kormasa Koyen's TikToks. The thought of a medical professional humiliating their charge for likes and views is abhorrent. Yet in January of 2025, Lucretia Kormasa Koyen did just that when she filmed herself dancing suggestively over a disabled patient. Her local police were notified, leading to Koyen's arrest days later.
Loganville police say they're investigating Koyen's other videos to see if there are any other victims.
She was charged with exploiting a disabled patient, a felony that could lead to significant fines and time behind bars. Her now deleted follow-up TikTok attempting to clear her name didn't help her case.
It's not what it is. All I gotta say for now is angles play a big part.
The disturbing story could have become a nationwide lesson on the immorality of prioritizing internet fame over caregiving, but it faded away days later. Her trial and potential conviction may reignite interest, but for now, it's unfortunately been left to the wayside.
There could be more charges since this is a continuous investigation.
Death of Chase Miles. On February 6, 2025, students at Temple University were rocked by the sudden sound of gunshots.
Out of nowhere, it sounded like it was right next to your face. You just heard a couple gunshots.
At the time, they had no idea that one of their own classmates, Chase Miles, had been the one struck. By the time authorities arrived, the 20-year-old was critically injured. He was rushed to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. The suspect, fellow student Nick Ayadarosa, was arrested and charged with murder. Further investigation found the two had known each other, and that their fatal fight could have been the result of an illicit deal gone wrong.
We don't know if it was a robbery or some other altercation, but we believe it may have been narcotics related.
With no confirmed evidence and no trial to date, the senseless tragedy slipped out of the news cycle within weeks and unfortunately hasn't returned since.
I am heartbroken by the senseless loss of such a young life. This tragedy is difficult to comprehend, and my thoughts and prayers are with all who are grieving.
Death of Zemar King III. His cruel fate is horrific enough, and what's worse is that it could have been prevented. In January of 2025, a Detroit landlord discovered the remains of Zemar King III.
This case is rather shocking. In my 27-year career, I don't remember seeing anything like this.
He'd been allegedly slain and buried by his own mother, who fled to Georgia afterwards. After he was found, she was extradited and charged with his murder, among other offenses. Long before the alleged crime, Child Protective Services had been notified several times about her mistreatment of him.
At least 4 times, records show, Brandy Pierce was the subject of CPS complaints.
In 2024, Zemar himself reported that she was physically abusive and that she wanted to take his life. The agency ignored him and closed the case, unknowingly sealing his fate. Their negligence should have made this national news. Instead, it was briefly covered by the local outlets before being dropped.
CPS said they could not comment on this case, but they are heartbroken by Zemar's death and are committed to ensuring the health and safety of all children.
Amber Loudermilk's funeral home vigilantism. In February, one embalmer's desire to enact posthumous justice resulted in her life changing forever. Amber Loudermilk was tasked with preparing the body of Charles Roy Rodriguez for cremation. Instead, she allegedly severed the deceased man's private parts and stabbed him, seemingly due to him having been a registered sex offender. This all reportedly occurred in front of one of her students, who she then threatened in order to keep them from reporting her.
This person clearly, our suspect clearly, just went off the edge.
She has since been charged with the desecration of a corpse and stripped of her license, and faces jail time along with fines should she be found guilty.
She has been fired from her job, but tonight there is also a warrant for her arrest.
The reporting of the case slowed by March, and it's unclear if her eventual verdict will help it break back into the mainstream.
Memorial Mortuary tells KPRC2 it is deeply troubled and saddened by the unlawful and horrifying actions of this individual ex-employee.
killing of the Haight family. In early 2023, the town of Enoch in Utah was rocked by horrific news, the deaths of a family of 8. After a welfare check was requested at the Haight home, officers found every member deceased.
Now the news hitting pretty hard for this tight-knit community of about 6,000 people tonight.
Even more chilling was the discovery that it had been carried out by the patriarch, Michael, who then turned the weapon on himself. He'd been accused of domestic violence in the past against his daughter, and weeks before the shooting, his wife Tasha had begun taking steps to divorce him. The main suspect dying at the scene brought the case to a close early on. With no way to serve justice, the violent event didn't see much coverage beyond the initial discovery and investigation.
City officials said they join with all those who are deeply saddened by the tragic incident and express our continued condolences to the family and friends.
Iran's Black Widow. Sometimes even large stories like that of a serial killer brought to justice can slip through the cracks. In late 2023, Kulthum Akbari was arrested under suspicion of slaying her then-husband, Gholam Reza Babaye. She later revealed that she'd poisoned at least 11 ex-husbands over a period of 20 years.
82-year-old victim Babaye's family then went on to file a police report. Authorities arrested Kulthum Akbari, who ultimately confessed to her crimes.
She mixed medications into their drinks, and when they fell ill, she played the role of a doting wife and took them to see a doctor. Then, once a medical history had been established, she finished the job and inherited the deceased's riches. In 2025, she was tried, found guilty, and received several death sentences. Though it was huge news, it failed to make waves overseas, leading to it going unnoticed around the world.
There are reports which say that the victim count could in fact be higher.
Death of Tiangela Tate and her baby. In February of 2024, a family was permanently ripped apart. That month, the bodies of Tiangela Tate and her infant son were found on a highway ramp in Arkansas. Also at the scene was a toddler who was alive but in critical condition. It was soon upgraded to a homicide case, and days later, Tate's partner, Willie Mott, was arrested on suspicion of committing both murders and attempting to slay the surviving child.
She says that she's glad this arrest has been made. She says they can finally get some resemblance of peace in trying to put their family back together.
His mother was also brought in for hindering the investigation and evidence tampering. In 2025, he was tried, found guilty, and given multiple life sentences. Although justice has been served, it hadn't been reported on by any nationwide publications, leaving most of the country in the dark about the horrific crime.
And the jury just took a couple hours to find him guilty.
Cité Soleil Massacre. A skewed belief led to the cruel fates of over 200 innocent people. In 2024, Haitian gang leader Monel Felix's son suddenly fell ill with a terminal illness. He'd been told that it had been caused by voodoo practitioners in Cité Soleil, and on December 6th of that year, at least 60 elderly civilians were captured and executed.
This after Felix was reportedly told that elderly people from the slum performed witchcraft on his son that made the child fatally sick.
When his son passed the next day, Felix went on the warpath. He and his men brutally slayed dozens more people accused of witchcraft, along with others who attempted to stop them.
It's hell, nothing more. The police should have immediately secured the area to arrest that criminal.
The gang then attempted to prevent news of the massacre from spreading by stealing citizens' phones and disposing of bodies. Though the act was condemned by several countries, news of the event itself hardly made international airwaves.
So we are horrified. Horrified by the reporting that nearly 200 people in Haiti were needlessly massacred, as you just stated.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Djaiba Area Massacre. On February 10, 2025, unsuspecting citizens in the Democratic Republic of Congo's Ituri province had no clue what was about to befall them. That night, members of a Codeco militia swarmed the Djaiba area and launched a brutal attack. Whole houses were burned to the ground with families still trapped inside, while others were slain by machetes and other weapons. The executions were indiscriminate, with people of all ages relentlessly targeted. Soldiers were sent to help but arrived too late to stop the massacre. By morning, over 50 people had perished. The area had been subjected to other attacks over the years, but this one was exceptionally brutal, and unlike those that came before it, didn't receive much international coverage or condemnation.
And they really want the government to do much more, to protect them.
Which recent crimes do you think should have been reported on more? Let us know in the comments below.